Steve Nicol then joins us as part of our Greatest Game series. Stevie, like you, the question quite simple. Your greatest ever game?
Do you know, that was a tough one to come up with, a greatest ever game. I would say that this game I'm going to talk about was the greatest as far as importance in my Liverpool career is concerned. It was a game at Anfield in 1983, season 83-84. It was obviously a Merseyside derby. I wasn't sure whether I was starting or not. I was in a position in the squad where I played one game, I missed two, I played another game. I was trying to become a regular. And of course, when you're trying to get in a side as good as Liverpool were then, you're never quite sure if you're good enough. There's always that little doubt. Do I fit in? Am I one of these? Am I good enough? And this game for me, after it was done, it proved to me that I was good enough. I did start the game, and pretty early on we had a lot of pressure. Kenny Dalglish put me through wide on the left-hand side. I went past a defender called Alan Harper, who I used to play with in the reserves at Liverpool when I went there. And I fired the ball across the 6-yard box. Neville Southall spilled it and Ian Rush put the ball in the net, 1-0. So that was a great start. We dominated the game. We were 2-0 up, and with about 15 minutes to go, I was in a midfield position. And Graham Souness, who was our captain, just turned round to me and said, "Get yourself in the box if you can." So I made myself in a position at the edge of the box. Matt Lawrenson had the ball wide. He whipped the ball in, and I had a diving header into the back of the net in front of the Kop. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. 45,000 screaming fans, as I said. The Kop standing, giving you an ovation. I mean, you're just an incredible moment. And I remember thinking after the game, sitting after having had a bath, thinking, you know what, I deserve to be here. I fit in here. I'm as good as these guys. And from there, that was never a concern, and it was never anything that came through my head. I didn't have to worry about being one of them. I felt one of them, and it was now about concentrating and keeping a level of performance that kept me in the side.
Was that something premeditated before the game? Did you always think, as you said, you had one game on, two off, right, here's my real chance now, I've got to take it? Because that puts a lot of pressure on you, doesn't it?
Well, I wouldn't say it put pressure on it. I was at that stage where I thought I should be playing. But then you're always thinking, well, if I'm thinking that, that's one thing. But if the manager's not, then I'm not playing. So am I kidding myself on here? You know, I've seen a lot of players come and go, particularly at Liverpool, who think they're good enough, but actually aren't. But if you talk to them, they'll tell you they are. So you're kind of in between. But the fact that I was actually picked to start that game, it was an important game at the time of the year, certainly that time of the season. And the fact that I was picked to start in a Liverpool starting 11, that ticks a box. I mean, that tells me that, you know what, this manager, and it was Joe Fagan at the time, who had just taken over from Bob Paisley, that ticked a box for me. That was telling me I was good enough. But that performance that I gave was that little extra that actually convinced me 100% that I was right in thinking that I deserved to play in this team.
Shepherd's pie, packet of crisps, or lots of beer, or all of the above to celebrate afterwards?
That and more.
Stevie Nicol, thank you very much. Keep an eye out for more Greatest Games from the boys on ESPN FC over the coming weeks.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.